Hi everyone, hope everyone's well. This evening I am playing Memoir 44. This is one of the scenarios that is part of the Winter Wars expansion pack. That's basically the Ardennes, Battle of the Bulge, Wachtam Rhine, etc., whatever you want to call it. And this is the scenario number one actually. It is Longvilly Trap. So we've got the winter board, which is separate, and the expansion. And I've laid out all the tiles you can see, and there are a lot of tiles on this scenario. That is probably true actually of all the scenarios that's in the Winter Wars expansion. Most of them do have quite a few terrain tiles, and very nice they look too. We've got the Germans on the top end of the board here and the Americans here. From the Germans, they've got a lot of Panzer units, as you can see, and there are two tank destroyer units there. In terms of their infantry, they have combat engineers over here, and there are special rules for those types of units. And as I play through the game and stop every few cards and talk about what's happening, I'll probably talk about those. The Americans got quite a few armor units here and concentration of infantry here, and they have some mortar units here again, so there are special rules for the mortar units. In addition to those rules, we're also going to be playing with the reduced visibility rule, which basically means that there's a few different, so for example, components of that. So dice symbols matching a unit's symbol only scores hits in close combat, for example. Grenades still score hits as normal. Stars still hit as normal. We're also going to be playing with the winter weather rules, which basically means armors and vehicle only move 2 hexes, for example. But if a move is made on the road, 1 hex can be made to a maximum of 3. Now, in terms of the tiled layout here, you can probably just about get a sense of it on the video. This section here is roads with the bridges across here and there. And then we also have a river that runs along the board in this sort of fashion up there and that way as well. So there are quite a few road tiles, and there are quite a few river tiles. For the Allies, there are 2 exits there and there. And the victory banner that we're looking for today, or victory medals for this game, sorry, I'm referring to commanding colours, is 6 medals. So if the Allies can move some of their units off, and that's how I'm going to play it today, trying to get the Allies off those 2 roads there, and the Germans are going to try and stop them. I think they're the main sort of additional rules. So what I'll do is I'm playing the game solo, and every few cards I'll stop playing and show the progress on the map and talk about some of the mechanics and talk about what's happening, as well as talking about the narrative as the battle unfolds. I'll probably be able to play this. This is definitely very playable in an evening, this particular scenario. Played it a few times now, and I always enjoy it. I do like this expansion pack very much. I would say I'm a keen enthusiast of the history of the Ardennes Offensive, or the Battle of the Bulge, so I'm going to very much looking forward to it. So no further ado, I'll get stuck in. So in the opening cards of the game, the Americans have tried to maneuver their armour across this road here and escape off the board here. However, the German tank destroyers on the top of these hills made short work of one of the units and gained the Germans a medal, a victory medal in the process. The Americans also, however, moving their armour up this road here. The Germans being far too preoccupied with these Shermans here. The Germans in turn have moved a Panzer unit on this side of the board down into this area. We're able to inflict some casualties on both the American armour that reside in this town and the infantry here in the open, and both these two took casualties. What is interesting, if it wasn't for the winter weather, the reduced visibility rule, this unit would have been completely wiped out by those German panzers. So with the reduced visibility, when you're rolling your attack dice, the dice symbols matching the unit symbol only scores in close assault. So when they rolled against them, they rolled 3 infantry dice. But because they weren't in close assault, it had no effect. So that reduced level of visibility in the Ardennes. It's definitely a thing. There was that's used in this game quite extensively. So that was pretty cool, I thought. The artillery also have been having a bit of a blast at different targets, but unable to hit anything with the dice they needed. So at the minute, in the first just a few cards on both sides, the Germans have already won victory medal, but the Americans are getting the tanks in good positions. The way I'm playing it at the minute is the Americans here are quite defensive, and the Germans are trying to attack and let the Americans defend against them and see if they can move their Shermans off the board and get some victory medals in like that, and the Germans are going to try and stop them. So now the Allies the Americans are trying to get their armour off the road here still, and the tank destroyers are giving them a good 4 perched on top of this hill. Now I should have noted the tank destroyers are actually 4 models strong, so I've accounted for that when they've taken losses. So this unit has suffered losses, that unit has suffered 1, but I've kept the 3 models there. But the tank destroyers themselves have returned fire and nearly finished this unit here. But that unit there is obviously very close to getting off the exit, and a victory medal for the Americans. However, on this side of the battle, this Panzer unit here has also pushed up across this bridge here and has defeated the infantry here on the road, and the Germans have another victory medal there. The Americans, however, also pushing their armour up this road where they've met fierce resistance from the Panzers. Here the Panzers are covering that road now to block the American armour from escaping or from moving off the board in that manner. So in terms of the victory medals, the Germans actually have 2, and the Americans have yet to score a victory medal. But they do have some opportunities because there's only 1 tank destroyer here. So there's a good tactic here for the American side. They could eliminate that, get the victory banner for doing so, victory medal, sorry, and then move the armour off and get another victory medal. Same here, they could get a victory medal for eliminating that remaining Panzer and moving off the board. Though they do need to also eliminate these Panzers here. So it could go either way. The Germans have got a slightly upper hand at the minute, but the Americans have teeth. So the American forces anyway. So in this battle, so we'll see how that pans out over the next few card plays. So now the Americans have been able to move their armour across that road there. They come under some fire from the German anti-tank, but were able to get some of the armour off the road and take a medal for that. And they have another armour unit here that has given fire to the tank destroyer, unit on top of the hill, but no avail. In this side here, the Americans have moved their armour up and have been engaged by both these Panzers here, and they've taken some significant losses. I can imagine burning Sherman holes on the road there as they battle with the Panzers. But they've got another armour here unit coming up the road as well to help support. This side of the battle, the Germans have pushing hard with their Panzers and with those engineers there. They've come under fire from both the artillery and the mortars, etc., but determined to try and infiltrate into this area and wreak as much havoc as they can. Plus they have their artillery in this clearing here between the wooded area. In terms of medals, both sides are now at 2 medals apiece. It feels even. It feels maybe a little bit in the Americans' favour at the minute. But we'll roll some dice and play some cards and see what happens. So both sides now have gained another victory medal. The Germans were able to eliminate that US armor unit, and the Americans were able to eliminate the German armor. that was on this side of the map. So both stand at 3 victory medals apiece. The Germans have successfully pushed the Americans back from this road here. However, the Americans are probably going to make good this armour unit here. And the Germans have started to move up their engineers into this position here. So it could well be that from the German perspective, if they can, even if those Americans cross off the map, the Germans are going to be able to move these tank destroyers around, push on here, and the Americans are going to get bogged down here. So it may well end up that the scenario for that last medal could end up here. However, saying that, equally, the Americans could just get the right dice that they need and eliminate these 2 panzer units here and gain victory in that way. So it's sort of in the balance, which is very exciting in this evening's gaming session. So yeah, see what happens. Yeah, so the Germans have closed the door. They managed to defeat the last American armour from moving off the board there, and they have pushed this American armour back here with the German panzers in close pursuit. They've also managed to move an infantry unit down here. However, the Americans have eliminated the German engineers that were on this flank of the battlefield. So both sides are at 4 medals. So it's whoever defeats the next unit will win, or unless the Americans can move anything off the board, which I doubt they will be able to be honest. So I think it's going to come down to the sort of the bitter fighting really in the snow of the Ardennes here on December the 19th, 1944. So it could go either way. I'll be honest with you. It's a really tense, close match. Very, very close. Both of them on 4, both equal chances. Technically, it's the Americans' turn next, and it's just 1 panzer there, so that could just clinch the victory to the Americans. So in the end, the American armour did defeat the last panzer in that unit there and give the Americans the last victory medal that they needed. So a victory to the Americans, a very close fought game. What is interesting is that the all the sort of winter effects, if you will, the winter weather, reduced visibility, added a lot to the game, and I really enjoyed that. It's definitely a very thematic game this evening. This is one of my favourite Memoir 44 expansions, but like I've said in previous videos and in the review, you do really need the winter board to make the most of it. It looks great on the table and a joy to play, and I really enjoyed that scenario. It's a really close scenario. At one point I thought the Americans were going to move all their armour off and get all the victory points, and that'd be that done. But it was a very close, cool thing between the 2 sides. Very enjoyable. If you've played this scenario, I'd be interested in any thoughts, or if your sort of outcome was different, please leave a comment in the comment section. Please check out the other Memoir 44 videos that I've done, and thanks a lot for watching as always, and take care. Thank you.